Hello, pupils of Primary 6. I welcome you to this lesson. Thank you for being there. The previous time we met, we were looking at the if-to conditional clauses, not at the if-to conditional sentences. And we discussed that, and we said, when you're dealing with if-to conditional sentences, the main clause is always written using the word would or would not plus the action verb in its infinitive form, whereas the if clause is always written in the participle tense. We also moved ahead and looked at the impossibilities, okay? Those sentences which express impossibilities, where we say when you're expressing impossibility, you use were, not was. Now today, I want us to look at another conditional word, that is unless. Unless is a negative word which means if not. Let me repeat this again. Unless is a negative word which means if not. Therefore, how do we use unless? We can use unless at the beginning of a sentence or within a sentence. When we use it at the beginning of a sentence, you apply a comma after the condition. Okay? Now, let's look at what we need to do, or some of the rules that guide us when we're using unless. When you're using unless, we consider basically three rules. The first rule is that if there is one negative word, either in the if clause or the main clause, what do? You remove it together with the word if. I repeat this again. If there is one negative word within the sentence, either in the if clause or the main clause, remove it together with the word if. Let me put it down here for you, where I'm saying if there is one negative word either in the if clause or the main clause. We are saying, what do? If there is one negative word either in the main clause, in the if clause or the main clause, what should you do? Remove it with the word if. You remove that negative word together with this word if within a sentence. Now let's look at the examples, how we can apply this rule in this case. Now we have example number 1. If Nalokwago does not write well, the teacher will punish her. Okay? Our rule is saying if there is one negative word, you remove it together with the word if. Now the negative words here are words like not. Basically here we are going to look at the word not. Although there are other negative words like never, hardly, and the rest, okay? But here basically we are going to look at not when it's attached to the helping verbs. Now if Nalokwago does not write well, the teacher will punish her. What is the negative word here? Here the negative word here is being attached to this helping verb does. Let's look at what we do. They said when we are using it, we remove it together with if. Now we shall replace this word if with unless. So let's see what we can do. We shall say here, unless Nalokwago writes well, the teacher will punish her. Can we go once again together? Unless Nalokwago writes well, the teacher will punish her. Let me put it down for you here. Unless Nalokwago writes well, you put a comma since you are using it at the beginning. Now teacher will punish her. Period. Let's look at example number 2. We shall contract COVID-19 if we don't follow the SOPs. Here we are meaning the SOPs, here we are meaning the standard operating procedures. Okay? In this case, we are referring to the standard operating procedures that are supposed to be followed to avoid contracting COVID-19. So what do? Our rule still is saying if there is one negative word, either in the if clause or the main clause, remove it with the word if. Remove it with the word if. Now we are saying we shall contract COVID-19 if we don't follow the SOPs. Now, since we are using unless at the beginning, what do? Here we shall say, unless we follow the SOPs, we shall contract COVID-19. You see that? Unless we follow the SOPs, we shall contract COVID-19. That's good. Let's have number 3. Let's try number 3. Still we are following the same rule. If there is one negative word, either in the if clause or the main clause, remove it with the word if. Remove it together with the word if. Now we are saying if it rains heavily, I will not go to the post office. That's good. Now here we shall say unless it rains heavily, I will go to the post office. That's wonderful. Unless it rains heavily, I will go to the post office. Remember we said unless is a negative word, which means if not. So once you understand the meaning of this word unless, you will have no problem with this. So we are saying unless it rains heavily, I will go to the post office. That is rule number 1. That's how we apply rule number 1, where we say if there is one negative word, remove it together with the word if, as I've showed you in these 3 examples. Let's go to rule number 2. What does rule number 2 tells us? Rule number 2 tells us that if there are 2 negative words, negative word, what do? Remove the word in the if clause. Remove the word in the if clause. Let's look at this. We are saying if there are 2 negative words, what do? Remove the one in the if clause. Now, why do we remove the one in the if clause? Because we know that word if will be replaced by unless, which is negative. Then we leave the other one in the main clause. Let's look at the examples. We are saying if I don't receive a telegram, I shall not forgive him. A telegram is a message, a kind of message sent through telegram, okay? Any message that is sent through telegraph is called a telegram. So I'm saying if I don't receive a telegram, I shall not forgive you. I hope you still, if you can remember your P5 vocabulary and apostrophe this word telegram, let's look at what we can do here. Saying, and if there is what? If there are two negative words, remove the one in the if clause. Let's remove the one in the if clause and we see. Now here it will be, unless I receive a telegram, I shall not forgive him. You see that? Unless I receive a telegram, I shall not forgive him. Let me put it down here. Unless I receive a telegram, you put a comma, I shall not forgive him. And put a full stop. Let's look at number 2 very fast. Still the same rule. We are saying Jemima will not get good money if she does not improve on her breeds. Whether it's a breed, I don't know which breeds here. It can be piggery, can be the dairy cattle. Mention it, okay? What do we do if you have to begin with the, we shall say, unless Jemima improves on her breeds, she will not get good money. Unless Jemima improves on her breeds, she will not get good money. Let me put it down very fast. Unless Jemima improves on her breeds, you put a comma, she will not get good money. And put a full stop. Let's look at the last example under the second rule. Says if you don't practice hard, you will not win the competition. So what do we do here? Here we say unless you practice hard, you will not win the competition. Unless you practice hard, you will not win the competition. You will help me and feel for me that way. Let's go to the last rule. The last rule, where the last rule says, if there is no negative word, if there is no any negative word, add one in the main clause. Okay? So let's write the rule down. If there is no any negative word, let me use the word, put one in the main clause. Let's see how this rule works. Okay? Now, if the school closes today, we shall travel to Kenya tomorrow. What do? We say if there is no any negative word, put one in the main clause. We shall replace the word if with unless, where we shall say, unless the school closes today, we shall not travel to Kenya tomorrow. Unless the school closes today, we shall not travel to Kenya tomorrow. Let me put it down here. Unless the school closes today, we shall not travel Kenya tomorrow. And put a full stop. Let's look at the second example. Still following the third rule. Angel will get married if she completes her studies. Now here what do? We shall say, unless Angel completes her studies, she will not get married. Unless Angel completes her studies, she will not get married. Why am I saying this? I'm following the rule which is saying if there is not any negative word, put one in the main clause. So we are saying unless Angel completes She will not get married. Yes. The last example under the same rule, we're saying if you reply my letter, I will be happy. If you reply my letter, I will be happy. Let me have Mag try that for us. As the friends who are also there doing the same, I think that will be the number we will pick it from, as other numbers are there. We have gone through unless, and I've told you basically there are 3 rules. Follow the rules, and I'm very sure if you follow the rules I've given you, you will be in a position to attempt these 6 numbers that I've given you. Follow the rule. Unless is a negative word, which means if not. If you understand the meaning of the word unless, you will be in a position to have no problem with trying these numbers. Thank you for being a good children. May God bless you.